Hello everyone, welcome to the Arthur Conan Doyle Center YouTube channel. I'm Kat, and today I have Betty Jane Ware with me. So Betty Jane will visit us in May. She will come all the way to Edinburgh. So I thought we could have just a quick kind of chat with her about her upcoming events and just see what she will be up to. Okay, so Betty Jane, if you would like to say a few words about yourself, just introduce yourself to our audience.
Perfect. Well, I know a lot of you because we've worked together throughout COVID. And I am coming to the UK for 6 weeks, and a couple of days of that is going to be spent in Edinburgh. I am a psychic and a medium, and I am going to be sharing some information and knowledge.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So just to put the details out there, so Betty Jane will be in Edinburgh, May 11 and 12 for day of private readings at our center. And then the weekend, May 13th and 14th, that will be a weekend workshop. So this is something I would like to ask you for a bit more details. So what exactly are you planning for this workshop? What is the idea behind it?
Oh, well, this is a workshop I developed years and years ago, to be quite honest. And it's all of my favorite things to do. It's all of my favorite methods of divination. So we're going to do some tea leaf, and we're going to connect with our spirit guides. We're going to play with some tarot and some oracle, and we're going to pull out the crystal balls. And if you have a few other surprises thrown in there too, that I will be supplying some of the tools for, but I really encourage you to bring your own because I'm from Canada and there's just not enough room in the suitcase.
Perfect. So what sort of stuff do you think people should bring? I've read notebook, some
Oh yeah, be prepared to
and
take notes. Absolutely. Be prepared to take notes. We're going to start off with a meditation that is going to help us connect with our spirit guides. We will be, if you've taken a class with me before, you know we do a field trip down to the office and we look at that beautiful spiritual painting that's in there. So we'll be utilizing that again. If you have tarot cards and oracle cards, bring those. Bring your favorite crystal ball, bring a pendulum. And like I said, I'm going to have a few more things that we do. We're going to play with some spiritual artwork. So we're really good. It's going to be jam-packed. So just be ready to learn and have some fun.
Perfect. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun and a lot of things to learn. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I was wondering, so if somebody is just starting out, they haven't really had any contact with, let's say, psychic development or tarot cards or oracle cards. So would this workshop be all right to kind of jump into this whole kind of area of psychic development?
Absolutely. This workshop, I think, would be perfect because we are experimenting and playing with so many different tools. You'll be able to jump in at with no knowledge or a lot of knowledge because we're exploring all these different modalities, and it's really built for that type of person, and it takes a different look at different things. So if you've never done anything, why not try it all at the same time?
Oh yes, because sometimes people would message us and ask, oh, I've never really done anything like this before, and I don't know if I have what it takes. I don't know if I have these kind of psychic skills. So then this workshop would be a good idea, like a good
Perfect.
point.
Absolutely, because you get to play with all of these tools. You get to, if you've had a pendulum, you've never known how to use it, or if you've had tarot cards, or you want to try what we call scrying with a crystal ball or a mirror or something like that. And actually, to be fair, I'm going to tell you this, you don't even have to have those. It's going to be helpful, but you don't have to. So because we can use something like a cup of black coffee to scry in. So we're going to be talking about all of those things. I have a development group here in Canada, and this is a lot of the favorite things that they request time and time again. So, and the people in my development group, they come in and out all the time. So they're always ever changing. So some have absolutely no experience. They come in for a day because it's something they've heard. And some people have been with me for years. So it's perfect for all levels.
Oh, that sounds lovely. So even people who are a bit more advanced, people who have done a bit of work already, who have, I don't know, a couple of tarot decks or oracle decks at home, they are also welcome to join.
Absolutely. I'm laughing because I have like 7 tarot decks on my desk right now and about 15 oracles above my shelf, including the centers. Okay. So we have a little bit of everything always around me all the time. So it's going to be very interesting. And I love all the different skill levels because you don't have to have any sort of in-depth knowledge. It really is just a little bit of everything to get you excited and on your journey.
Hmm. Yes, yes, I think it's always good, especially with having different tools, you know, checking what works for you and what doesn't, and what really draws you in. So, yes, I was wondering if you do have a personal favorite, if there's any specific, I don't know, divination tool at the moment that you feel really connected to, that really helps you in your work.
It's funny, if you've ever had a reading with me, you know, I always start with my tarot cards. I love my tarot cards. I have about 500 different decks over there. Yeah, I might have a wee bit of a problem. It used to be shoes, now it's tarot decks. Um, but that's where I always start. And then I find that the messages come through the cards for me. Don't need the cards. It's really helpful for my student or my client to have that visual. But that's just how I work. I really love my cards. And so I always try to include a little bit of that in anything that I do.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Yes, because I feel like I feel like there's so much potential to develop your own kind of technique and to really have your own style of connecting to all the messages and passing them on. So I feel like just when I've heard you talking about the workshop and trying all these different things, I feel like it's perfect just to kind of get your hands on all these different techniques. So that sounds great. Yes, and I was wondering if you could just say a few words about your own journey, because I know in your bio you mentioned that this is something that runs in the family.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I've been doing this forever and a day, it feels like. I was thinking about that this morning. When did I actually start? And I remember my grandmother's putting tarot decks and crystal balls in my hands and asking me questions about them. You know, what do you see in them? What does it tell you? Things like that. I remember sitting under the table when people would come to town and get readings. I actually have clients that used to be my grandmother's clients, so that's kind of cool.
oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, it's really kind of interesting. It's the family gift, I guess, and I'm blessed in what I do, and I'm very comfortable in what I do, but that's the gift that's been passed down through my grandmothers, and you know, just making sure that I was never afraid of it and I was always embracing it. I truly believe that everybody has a gift. It's how we're encouraged to use it is how we learn to develop it.
Yes,
So
because I feel like sometimes people, you know, even when they come from families, when you can hear your mom saying, oh, you know, I have an intuition, but it's not really tapped into. So then you realize, oh, I also have something, but it wasn't really encouraged, or it wasn't something that was in the spotlight. So I feel like it's lovely to have, you know, all these wonderful mediums and tutors, you know, helping to bring that gift to the surface. So
absolutely.
it's
Absolutely. It's amazing because if you think back to it, most of us had a spirit guide at a very young age, but we called it our imaginary friend. And, you know, we got teased because of it, or we got told it was silly and to push it aside. And that was because if you can't see it, it's not there. Well, sometimes, you know, it's daylight out, and even though the sun is not shining, you know, the sun is still there. So just because you can't see it, or just because it's not logical, doesn't mean it's not real.
yes, yes, that's definitely that's definitely it. And I feel like the awareness that, you know, you do have a spirit guide, or there's someone or some energy surrounding you, it can give you so much comfort and so much kind of, oh, I'm not alone in all of this.
Yes.
So I feel like just attending the workshop and, you know, connecting with the spirit guides, as you have written in the
Absolutely. Oh,
workshop plan.
absolutely. That's the very first thing I want to do. I'm going to do a meditation, and we're going to work on that spirit guide. Very, very first off, I think that's so important. Learning who your spirit guide is, finding what their purpose is, and how they're going to help you upon your journey. And that's why I start off with that. It's one of the most, I think, finding that connection and recognizing it, it's such a beautiful connection. And I feel like it's all important to our developing path. So,
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes, and I was just thinking if you do have perhaps a message for people who feel like they had a connection and then perhaps something happened in their lives and they had to perhaps shut it off or they had to ignore it for a while and they would like to get back to it.
absolutely. I on how to put this, intuition, spirit, it's like a muscle. It's having that trust, having that absolute knowing that it's going to be there for you is so important. But the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So even if you've had to walk away from it for whatever reason, doesn't mean it's not going to be there waiting for you. It's kind of, I travel a lot. I have 2 beautiful dogs, and it doesn't matter how long I've been gone, they're always happy to see me when I come home. Spirit guides work the same way. Doesn't matter how long we've taken away from, they're always glad to see you when you come back.
Yes, yes, I think that's an important message so that, you know, if something does pop up in life and it's like, okay, you know, I have to focus on other things, or maybe sometimes the spiritual gift, it feels like it's too much, or there's not a teacher to help to guide you through it. I feel like it's so important to know, okay, it's okay to come back at your own pace and just to do it your way.
Absolutely.
And
Guiding and guiding, mentoring, coaching people through those times or those trials. That's why psychics are there. That's what our job is, to help people find happiness or light at the end of the tunnel, to get them through things, and you know, to give messages absolutely from the other side. But usually there's a reason why you need to hear that. And so that's what we are here for. The important thing to realize is that you have the gift within you to do it as well. So coaching somebody to find that within themselves is so incredibly rewarding. And I love it when I see some of my students and that you see that they've got a web page now and now they're doing readings, and I just feel like, oh, I helped with that.
yes,
So,
yes, I was
amazing.
just thinking about this whole process when, you know, you are there for the students and you kind of help them get into it and you see them blossom and develop their gifts. It must be such a satisfying experience.
It is. It's so incredible. It's like, you know, it's not me, it's them. They've done the work. I've helped them maybe find their direction, their path, their goal, but they've done the work. And I'm always like, woohoo, that's so great. I do a lot of events, and it's always rewarding when I see a student of mine come into the very first event and they come over and they check me out and they want, you know, they want to see and, you know, make sure they're doing everything right. And it's kind of like, just be you. Just be genuine, be authentic, be you.
Yes, yes, I think that's
Important thing.
that's the thing, just to connect to your own unique energy. Don't try to pretend to be someone else or try to, you know, copy someone. I know when you're starting, it's important to kind of have someone to, you know, take that inspiration from, but
Absolutely.
definitely
It's
having
tough.
that.
It can be really tough, but it can be, you know, what I remember starting out, you know, doing my first events and things like that. And, you know, I always had a clientele at home and things like that, but doing my first major fair, and it wasn't that long ago. I would say it's probably about 20 years ago now. And we sat beside this gentleman whose wife was very well known in the area. We had just moved there and she booked up like that. And my husband and I were like, oh, you know, we were feeling, and he leaned over and he said to my husband, you know, she's been doing this a long time. She's been doing this event for a long time. Don't compare yourself to anybody. And then he proceeded to give us some little pointers. And those pointers are things that we have passed on since then when people come out to do events. And they're silly little things that you would think that we should have known and we didn't. So passing that wisdom on, I think that's incredibly important because you're helping somebody else develop and grow. And that's what it's all about.
Yes, yes, it's that being interconnected and just sharing in good faith all of these things that kind of we experienced, and perhaps it will help somebody else on their path.
Absolutely. It's always a lot of, like I said, it's always so rewarding to see somebody else succeed.
Mhm.
And I truly believe that. And I'm always happy when I see somebody else. I love it when my students comes up to me afterwards and they say, Betty Jane, I did this, this, and this, and you know what? I got it all right. And I'm like, of course you did. Of course you did. Do you think I would recommended you to start doing events? Come on. If you're not ready, then you're not ready. But usually that's a block you've put in your own mind. When you're ready, you know it.
That's true. Yes, when it feels like, okay, the time is right and everything aligns in such a way that you start receiving all these opportunities and you see, oh wow, actually, you know, I'm all right in what I do, and I might as well just put myself out there and kind of let other people find me too. So
like I said, be honest, be authentic, and you've got no worries.
Perfect. So any last word you would like to pass on to our audience, and anything you would like them to know before you come to us in May?
Oh, well, I am going to be there on the 11th and 12th doing readings, and the 11th might be a really good day for love readings because it actually happens to be my 39th wedding anniversary. So,
ooh, wow.
So we're just going to put that out there for love readings, relationship readings. But no, I'm really looking forward. I love to be in Edinburgh, and being back after so many years is going to be fabulous. I've done so much on Zoom. Being there in person is going to be very refreshing. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, even if the staff has changed a little bit.
Well, hopefully the energy in the building will still be lovely.
I know it will be. I know it will be. And maybe there might be a baby or two for me to pinch.
Ooh, well, we'll see. We'll see. Perfect. So yes, thank you so much for taking your time to speak to me, and I hope our audience will also be looking forward to your visit in Edinburgh. And until then, where can people find you if they are interested a bit more about you?
Well, they can always go. Well, you know, I do go to the center every third Wednesday of the month and offer readings there. All I can say is book quick because I know they sell out.
Yes.
The other thing is you can go to my website, which is simply my name, bettyjaneware.com, and you can connect with me through email or anything through there.
Perfect. So yes, if you feel like reaching out to Betty Jane Ware before her visit, feel free to do that. Feel free to message us if you have any questions about the workshop. And yes, we will hope to see you, Betty Jane, and we hope to see you, people who are watching us, in Edinburgh all together. And it's going to be an incredible time with Betty Jane. I can already feel it. It's going to be such a wonderful event. So yes, thanks so much, and have a lovely day whenever you're watching it. Bye.
Bye.